The Notaries Unsealed podcast is brought to you by the Notary Success System and Captivated Notary Marketing Solutions. Coming up on this episode.
You market yourself, and then the community who you market to are on a particular economic and educational level that you're nowhere near.
Are you going to sit there and try to tell me how to, get these documents signed and notarized?
They're skipping steps, man, because, listen, you got people taking courses for marketing, but you don't even know where you're going to market.
Real smooth this time. We Notaries Unsealed. This my everyday life. Yeah. We Notaries Unsealed. Every day I hustle out here living it right. Let's go. We Notaries Unsealed. Put the stamp down and stop in front of the mic. Here we go. Took the game over. We home now. We soldiers. Griff, Mathurin, and cue the podcast. You can't hold us. Y'all heard the word.
What's going on, Notary World? Welcome back to Notaries Unsealed. I'm your host, Quentin Smith, and I'm here with my guys, Uncle Griff and Mathurin. Say what's up to the people, fellas.
Hey, what's going on, party people? Your man, Uncle Griff here.
Hey, what's going on, folks? It's your 5-star general notary.
What's going on, fellas? It's been a minute, man. I haven't talked for a while. What's going on? How's your week going?
The week going good, man. This week was sort of middle of the road. Not a whole lot of signings, but enough to keep me busy, So I had to do a little bit of driving out into the wilderness in some cases. But other than that, it was pretty good this week.
Yeah, this week wasn't too bad, just staying focused. It is slow as far as the notary, but I've been getting a lot of new leads in regarding to real estate, and I'm just staying focused, just riding the cycle.
Yeah, I think that's kind of been what's going on in the notary world. If you guys are paying attention on Instagram or talking to other notaries, it's been slow. It's been slow for me, which has given me an opportunity to kind of do some marketing for my business, and also it's given me some time to think about how to grow other things in other directions as well. So idle moments, always take advantage of those because they're not just idle. You can use that time to do self-growth and, think about other ways on how to grow your business. So I know a lot of us right now are dealing with some slowness, and there's some people that are popping. That's just the way that the business goes. It's a wave. So, around here, we're professional wave riders, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, right?
Oh, yeah.
We be notarizing. We be notarizing.
Yeah, we be notarizing. Right, so we just going to ride this wave cowabunga. Griff, at the time of this recording, we were recording this on the eve of the Now or Never
conference,
event that Star McQueen is hosting. So are you excited about that?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm ready to go with that. Yeah. So by the time y'all hear this, we would have had it. And what I'm going to be speaking about is the true foundation of business. What's hold on. I know I should have had this prepared. Y'all hold on for a second.
It's all good.
I be messing up and forgetting what I be writing and everything.
And special shout out to Super Notary Moms. That group in the Clubhouse channel that they got going on.
They on point. They're on point. Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, definitely.
So I had it right. Yeah, the true foundation of your business. And the topic is basically nobody ever became a millionaire just based off of what they heard and the stuff and the instructions that they was given. I heard that. Yeah, I mean, everybody's trying to get information, but here's the key. It's you acting on it. Because if you think about it, there are a lot of people who have made millions of dollars all because they acted, all because they took a step, and they had no knowledge of anything. They had no knowledge. They didn't know what they was doing. All they did was just proceed, and then they learned later. But what the notaries are trying to do is learn everything that possibly could be learned, and then somewhere along the line they're going to act. And that knowledge that they have is not bringing them in the money. It's you acting on the knowledge or just acting so you can take advantage of the opportunity to move forward. And that's what I'm, talking about, because I just see so many notaries just sitting on the sideline full of knowledge, 5 and 6 training courses, and it's 2 years, 3 years, and ain't done nothing.
No, you're right. And I think that that's actually has a lot to do with what we're going to be speaking about as our topic tonight, but I don't want to quite get there yet. Let's stay on this event that you got going on tomorrow. And tomorrow is October 8th. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
It looks like you've got a wonderful group of guest panelists there. You know, Gary Pierre Lewis, we are familiar with him.
Yeah, my man. Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to get him on the show, you know. Elaine Wright Harris, Brian Malikson, sorry if I messed that up, and Sunita, owner of Weddings by Sunita. So it looks like you've got a great panel there. I'm familiar with everyone but Brian. So
yeah, Brian, he's a he's a VP with the Maryland Land Title Association. So that Alta Statement, American Title, he's a part of that, the Maryland branch. So Star has a connection with him, and he's going to be talking about, you know, what is the importance of them having a tippet license and all of that. So, and the Land Title Association is a good group to be with. They're having a meeting here in Virginia coming up. I'm probably not going to be able to get to it. I don't have the time to go to it. It's up in Richmond, and I just don't have the time to take out for it. But yeah, that's what his role is. Sunita, she's a wedding officiant. She just started a course. Elaine does training and all of that. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. So I think I'm speaking first, and then I'm gonna be doing some one-on-one, or not a small group training afterwards, giving them a taste of the Notary Success System and all of that. So I'm gonna be printing my my test documents and everything, and challenging them. Hopefully I have enough time to actually show them how to prep documents and all of that, and actually do a signing myself there, because I'm gonna take all of my documents with me so they can see how comprehensive my training is. Because a lot of times people just, you know, they's like, oh well, yeah, 150, but what am I really going to get? They really need to see. So I'm gonna show them and all of that, because really this will probably be the first conference that you really get an opportunity to get some training in, and not just being sold on stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now. You know, being sold, going to the conference. There was a recent conference one of my colleagues up here in Massachusetts had attended to, and she wished that she had never attended, because, you know, it was, you know, everybody was just being sold on something. Everybody was selling something there, but when it comes to actually how to properly notarize documents, the information that she wished she would have gotten there, it just didn't happen.
It's too large of a setting for that, unless you're, you know, going to be in a instructor type facility to get that. So I'm really interested to see how this works for you guys. I hope it goes well. Hope there's a nice turnout, and you know, the folks get some great training at the end of the event there with you, Griff.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised at how this thing works. And we're going to see if they really know what they're talking about, because everybody thinks they know everything. So we're going to find out.
Oh, yeah, everybody's about to get put to the test now.
That's what's up. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so that is going to be a great event, and I can't wait to see pictures and videos. Griff, you should live stream while you're there. You know, I'm personally going to request, so if this happens and there's any video footage of this on YouTube or on Instagram, it's because I asked Griff to do that. I just want that out there. So Griff, can you live stream a little something from us? All
right, I'll make that happen.
I appreciate it.
Right,
just so good. Y'all are going to hear this on Tuesday. If y'all saw it on Saturday or Sunday, I did that. Just saying. But you brought up a good point there. So tell us a little bit more about what you're planning on sharing with the folks, because by the time the audience hears this, you would have already shared it. So go ahead and tell us what you're going to talk about.
Okay, well, basically, I'm just trying to make sure that people make the decision to go ahead on and act on what they know they need to do. Even if they don't even fully understand everything, they need to act on it. They need to act. And if they don't, then they're just going to be sitting on the sideline and never grow and never move forward. So, you know, yeah, you hear stuff, you know, you learn stuff, And the way I look at it is, you learn some information, you execute the information, and then either you're going to have success or failure. And then you keep going. So you learn, you execute, and then either you have success or failure. And if you have success, okay, cool. If you have failure, then you learn from it, and then you go and execute properly, and then you have success. But what's happening is people are learning, they're not executing, and they're wondering why they don't have any success at all, or even a failure. And they're trying to do everything they can to avoid failure because they feel if I make a mistake, then somebody's going to laugh at me. Somebody's not going to think I'm good at this or cool or whatever. And I'm like, no, y'all looking at this all wrong. Just go out here and do the best you can and see what happens. Because one of the examples I like to give is if you're at your job and the boss comes in and says, hey, Fred is going to be out for the next 3 weeks and we're going to need you to take over. You're not going to sit. You're going to go ahead on and do everything you can to take over. Yeah. Matter of fact, Fred will try to tell you, hey, like you'd be like, Fred, don't worry about it. You rest. I'll figure it out. So in our W-2 world, we're quick to say, I'll figure it out. But when it comes to the notary stuff, it's, I can't figure it out. Somebody got to tell me I'm hands-on. And see, that's the other thing. Everybody always says how hands-on they are, but they're not even putting hands on.
No, not at all. Not at all. They just want somebody. They want somebody to guide them through it. But at the same time, when it just like you say, just like you just said, Griff, they're not putting in the effort. They're not taking the action to actually do what is being taught. So everybody just want to be guided. And as soon as something get difficult, or as soon as they come across something that they are not aware of, they go back to that mentality where I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of what other people might think. And because right now, the way the industry is going, everybody wants to appear like they know everything because everybody's trying to sell you a course. I'm so sick and tired of these courses, just I'll let you guys know. Everybody is trying to sell you a course, but at the same time is what they need to realize in order for you to make it in business, not just notary. As a matter of fact, not just in life in general. You have to take action. You got to take the necessary steps in order for you to get to where you are what it is that you are trying to accomplish. And a lot of people tend to forget that when they get into business. Just like you say, if it's in a W-2 world, they'll do everything that they can in their power to make sure they are learning, they are growing. But when it comes to business, it's like, I need somebody to guide me step by step.
So I kind of feel like part of the issue with this, and I see this with Captivated and, you know, some of the people that I have consultations with, there's a serious lack of planning when it comes to this business right now. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like we've already discussed, people are getting trained 1 time, 2 times, 3 times and filling their heads up with all this knowledge, but they're not actually putting it, like we've been saying, into action. And it all really begins with planning. From my side of things, from the marketing side and working with my customers, some of the things that I see that is a little bit concerning is that, you know, if I'm doing a website and, you know, it comes time to decide, you know, are you going to show your prices, or what are your prices? Mm-hmm. What are your travel fees? That those things haven't been thought about yet.
Right.
You know, and that's concerning. And that's a part of the planning phase of starting a business. So I think that a lot of people are finding out about, okay, I can go be a notary and possibly, you know, go full time with it and make decent money, or it's going to be a part-time thing for me. Mm-hmm. But regardless, they want to get trained, and, you know, they want to learn all the different ways that they can make money. And then they want to go out and get outfitted for their businesses without actually developing a plan of action. Because, you know, if I'm talking to you and I'm building out your website, and let's say I'm putting a Google Maps on your website, right? A Google Map. If you don't know about building a Google Map for your business, hey, yeah, that's a little gem right there I just gave y'all. My Google Maps, little gem for you.
Okay, cool.
But if I'm putting a map on there and I'm saying, okay, let's map out the areas that you service, and you can't tell me where you're servicing, or you haven't decided where you're going to service, you haven't put your business together yet. You haven't even decided where your client, where your customer base is going to be at. You don't know where you're pulling customers from. If you don't know where you're pulling customers from, how are you going to know who to market to?
And yeah, and that's the bottom line. Yeah, and that's what's happening. Nobody is really. They're just going by what other people say. One of the ways I also look at it is when the reason why people are so gun ho with a W-2 and hopping in there whenever somebody says, "Hey, I need help here, I need help there," is because there's somebody that they can impress. There's a person that's above them that they can impress. But when you're in your business, it's only you. You got to impress you. There's no boss. Okay, you got this idea and oh man, if I market this way, or if I go over here to this nursing home, man, I could be making money. And then there's nobody to give me a pat on the back and say I did good. Stop looking for the pat on the back and just go do it. Look for the money going into your bank account. That's my pat on the back.
That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need any other validation other than did you make money today?
Yeah.
Did you set yourself up to make money tomorrow if you didn't make money today?
Mm-hmm. That's key.
And then as far as that, when it comes to, actually making, you have to set up a criteria of as far as what it is that, like how much money you're trying to make. And you need to understand that you're going to have, some slow days and you're going to have some good days. Well, what tends to happen is people will go into this business, based off the entire, what was going on during the pandemic with the pandemic notaries. They were going on, making that $10,000 a month mark. We're not saying it's not possible, but you have to do a lot of work to make $10,000 a month. But you need to be able to break it down bi-weekly and daily as well. So if your goal is to make $500 a week, you have 7 days to do it. You have 7 days. If that's your goal, you have 7 days to make $500 a week and stick to that goal. And don't get discouraged if you don't make that goal that week. Because a lot of folks, what they'll do, they get mad at themselves or they start to second guess this business because they're not making what they are hoping to make on a weekly basis. But at the same time, go ahead, Q.
Here's the thing. And for those that are just starting or new to the business, you don't even know if you can make money coming out the gate. If you yourself can go out there and make money, you don't know if you can do that. That's true. It is a tough thing to jump out there and just say, I know I can make money. Now, I did that, right? So who am I to tell you, that that's not the right thing to do? Mm-hmm. I did it out of a need of despair, and I put my entire life and all of my focus on making sure that I was going to be successful. There was no other option. I was not letting anything else get in my way. I eat and slept this business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah. There was no other option. I made my decision and that was it. There was no if this doesn't work. I still have never considered if this doesn't work. Even in these slow times. It's not an option. It's just like, okay, we're going to ride this wave and make sure I set myself up and get myself ready for when the wave come back.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people don't even know if they can make money in this business before they go and start taking all this training, additional training outside of their commission.
The additional training. That's why I keep telling everybody, and people think I'm crazy when I say this, but I'm like, define what you're trying to get trained in. But you can't. But if you're not looking at the market, if you're not trying to understand what you can do as a notary, how you can make money with your stamp, then you can't really say, okay, let me go to this person because they're going to train me in an area that I have no knowledge in. People just saying, just train me and hoping that something will stick. Like they say, just take some poop and just throw it and hoping, just stick. Throw a drive, just throw a tennis ball up there and hope it'll stick. Well, the tennis ball ain't going to stick to a wall. It needs something to help it adhere. So you need something to tell the trainer, hey, this is what I want to learn. And then that trainer has to then tell you, yes or no, I can teach you that. If they can't, then you move on. But the problem is people are they're way too willing to spend money for just a half a piece of information and then justify within their own self and say, well, I did learn something. Well, if you've never heard of this information, you never heard of this industry, it's all something new. But the question is, how usable is it? So the thing is, like I said, when you learn something and then you go to execute it, and then you either have success or failure. If I'm having failure, is it because I learned the wrong information, or did I learn the right information but applied it the wrong way, or the wrong time, or in the wrong area? You have to sit back and look at, I got information, I tried to execute it, and if it didn't work, why? And if you're getting information that is straight up wrong and not applicable to where you're at,
Yep.
that's the key. So, but see, people, nobody wants to challenge anybody, because if I question them, then I'm going to be missing out. No, you question them, you're going to find out whether or not what they're saying is even valid. That's the key. And we do that in all other areas of our life. I mean, look, like there was on YouTube, there was a short where the guy said, he did a funny short talking about when you just hear $25 an hour. So the job said it paid $25 an hour. He gets there and they tell him, they say, yeah, okay, what you're going to have to do is put your gloves on and get the sponge, and you're going to have to wipe Mr. Johnson. And he's like, whoa, wipe? Yeah, you're going to have to clean him out. And he's like, and then the guy, Mr. Johnson, like, yeah. I'm going to just bend over for you, so you go ahead on. And he like, whoa. Hold up. No. So you got to make sure, okay, yeah, I can make money, but I don't want the $25 that bad. He was like, nope, took my gloves off and I'm gone. And that's what's happening with notaries. They're just trying to.
They're skipping steps, man. Because, like, listen, you got people taking courses for marketing, but you don't even know where you're going to market.
Correct.
You have no environment to market. So you're sitting there and you're buying stuff to get marketing stuff. This is why when people come to Captivated and we talk about videos, I'm like, listen, you don't even have an environment to do anything with this right now. So why are you going to spend money on it?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
So you're taking these. Shown.
Yeah, they've been shown. You need to learn how to market. You need to learn how to market. How about you answer a question before I need to learn how to market? Where is my market? What is my market?
That is
how much
correct.
am I going to charge to go to this market over here? Right.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm asking you, okay, so if they're telling you that you are going to go market at a hospital, right? Then you say, okay, I'm going to go to 2 hospitals. Well, that hospital over there is 2 counties away. How much is it going to cost for you to go out there during your business hours and outside of your business hours?
Mm-hmm.
Are you only going to service that hospital in that area, or are you going to service the entire area? Do you want to do just regular notary work? Okay, so how much would you go out there for one stamp?
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. Yeah. Now, what about this? You market to a particular area, and people might get mad at me when I say this, but let's just say you market yourself, and then the community who you market to are on a particular economic and educational level that you're nowhere near. And here you come in there, and let's just be real. You come in there with your broken English and all of your other whatever, and this could be for a black person, white person, Asian, whoever, and you're speaking in such a way that turns them off. Now, can you do the job? Yeah, but you can't. They're expecting you to communicate, and they're sitting here like, I don't understand what you're saying. You know, you could sit there and if you're like, that's right. And they're like, whoa. Nah, I don't. And that's just how people are. Now, I'm not saying you change. True. I'm not saying you have to be uppity or down, you know, or ghetto or urban or any of that. What I'm saying is you got to recognize where you're marketing to. And if you know you're marketing to a group of people that are more on the uppity scale, or if you're more on the prestige uppity side or elite side, and you're trying to market to the people in the urban community. And see, look, let me tell y'all something. Here's what I learned. I learned you got to be a chameleon.
We cooking tonight, folks.
I learned you have to be a chameleon. When I was in the military and I was like, okay, how I'm going to make it in this world. And he said, you got to be a chameleon. A chameleon doesn't change who they are. They just blend in. They learn the environment around them and blend in to get what they need. And then they keep it going.
And that right there is key. You have to learn how to adapt.
Right.
And and a lot of people
You
they
gotta
don't
be
want
good.
they don't want to adapt to different environment because they are no. It goes back to the fear. They are afraid. What if they fail? So it's but just like you're saying, Griff, if you don't learn how to adapt to certain situations, you cannot grow. That's the only way that you're going to grow is adapt and learn.
Now, one of the ways that helps me to adapt and grow, because I know I can struggle sometime on the English language. As much as I run my mouth on YouTube, I do
Never that,
sometimes.
Griff.
Huh?
I said never that.
Yeah, but here's one of the things that I do. This is where looking at stuff like documentaries. So I look at a lot of documentaries. Like there's a series of documentaries called, So Expensive, about why coconut oil is so expensive, why whatever, silk is so expensive, spiders or what. And I look at that kind of stuff because sometimes you come across somebody and that can just be an icebreaker. I look at my little cartoon things on Netflix like Kung Fu Panda and all of that, which the fellas be joking me about.
I love
that.
some Kung Fu Panda, man.
But here's the thing: when you're in somebody's house and the kids are playing and they're looking at it, and you can talk to that kid and relate to them, I'm telling you, that makes that kid like, oh, okay. You're cool. You're okay to be here. So like today when I went to the person's house, the kid was just running all over the place. And he come running in, and you know how kids like to run and just fall face first into a couch. So I went over there to the kid and I started tickling him and everything. Didn't have no problem with the kid.
Griff love the kids.
Yeah. And
It's like Trick Daddy up.
Right? Griff love the kids.
And the kid looked at me and they were just playing and we was fun. Then the other kid came up, little baby came up, and so when they look at me, I put one finger up, then 4 fingers or 5 fingers, playing with the finger. They started mimicking me. And once they start mimicking you, you got them. That means you done made a connection. So I just try to learn different things about life, and in that way, if a conversation comes up, and here's the other key: I recognize when to shut my mouth because sometimes they like to try to test you to see how well versed you are, and I just sometimes say, well, I work too much. And they're like, you work? I said, yeah, I work. See, that's where you just tell me, I do 12 signings a day. I ain't got time to be looking at CNN or MSNBC. And they're like, oh, I don't have time.
Yeah.
See, I'll engage in a situation. I'll be like, if somebody were to ask me something that's going on with the news, if I hadn't heard it, I'd say, oh, no, I haven't heard anything about it. Can you tell me about it?
Mm-hmm. That's another way to deal with it. Yeah,
just to get their point of view. Because what you don't want to do is you start talking, and then next thing you know, you in a situation where you are rooting for the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now they're looking at you like, look, we need to get this notary out of here. Like,
yeah.
So, I think just being well-rounded, being a well-rounded individual, just in general in life, is very important, and it helps you be able to move like a chameleon, throughout whatever community that you're in. I'm somebody that's been poor. I was homeless when I was a kid. And I went to a prep school and been around Philadelphia elite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good everywhere that I go. I'm good in the hood and I'm good in the hills. It is what it is, because I've experienced a lot of different things. So that those experiences have afforded me the ability to be relatable to other people. Right. And that's a huge thing in business, is just being relatable to everyone that you may come across. And that's something that you have to be knowledgeable about. We don't hear nothing about Phil Knight from Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No.
Nike speaks for itself. And I'm not saying that our notary brands are like Nike. I mean, in a way they are. Right. But when you see CEOs of bigger businesses or, even medium-sized businesses and companies, you're meeting a business. You know what I mean? They are a representative of that business.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, man, look, I've learned to just figure out what to say, what not to say, why to say it, all of that. And I'm telling you, you're gonna be fine. But what's happening is that people are just so starched and so focused on just I'm gonna make money.
Yeah.
And they're not paying attention to the stuff around them, because sometimes, I mean, if you're with somebody, you know, okay, there are some notaries, I don't do this unless I just happen to pay attention to it. But there's notaries who the first thing they do when they get an order is look at the person's loan application to see how much money they're making.
Yeah.
So
I never look at that.
Huh?
I don't even care. I said I never look at that. I know.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I mean, yeah, the only time I happen to see it is if I'm just, when I'm flipping through, and I might happen to take, look at it. But other than that, I'm really not even looking at it. And notaries are like, yeah, man, they making $7,000 a month or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, if you know that, then you need to carry yourself accordingly.
Exactly.
Right.
Because they,
Right.
and so, in case in point, I was working with a lady. She, oh my goodness. Yeah, she was some kind of pharmaceutical executive or whatever. And I get there, and she was trying to take over the signing. And
So I tell you what to do, Griff.
She tried to alpha dog you.
yeah. And I had to stand my ground with her. And I said, well, ma'am, look, I said, if you want this thing to go smooth and you don't want them to tell you a couple of days from now that you can't move in this house because the notary messed up something. And I said, I need you to just flow with me. If you flow with me, everything. And her husband, he's real laid back, and he was looking, and the husband sort of looking at me like, okay, you sort of put my wife in check.
Right.
And I'm like, that wasn't my goal, man. But I mean, if y'all don't want them to tell y'all to get out the house.
Yeah. Let me do my job.
Yeah. I was like, trust me. I said, just trust me to do my part, And even today, the guy, I get there and I give him his set of documents, and then he's telling me, and I said, feel free to read over your documents. He said, no, I don't want to read them. I want to read the copy you got. And I'm like, I said, they the same thing. And he was like, I want to read your copy. I want to read the copy that I'm signing. I said, well, if you really insist on reading, I'm like, okay, here, but there's no difference between what I'm going to have you sign and what you have over there. They're the exact same thing. That's not a watered down version. And it took him a little while, and his eyes were shifting, and then he finally he never read the documents.
Yeah.
He never read them, but I mean, he was
what
like,
he was thinking, right?
yeah, he would just, but I think what he was trying to do, he was trying to get the documents from me so he could go ahead on and sign them.
Yeah.
So that's what he was trying to do, sign them ahead of time. And I hadn't even given him the oath, which remember, notice you got to give him the oath. So I hadn't even done that.
All the time.
Yeah, so I had to calm him down, and then once he chilled, we got through this stuff, and we was done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, because I'd be running into the same issue too. If I go to an appointment, every now and then you get this client who wants to dictate how the appointment goes, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm there to perform my job, like my duties that either you hire me for or the company that is that I'm providing the service to. So how are you gonna sit there and try to tell me how to get these documents signed and notarized, but as soon as something goes left, you're gonna be blaming me.
Right.
And then you're gonna like, well, the notary let me do this and the notary let me do that. It's like, no, I think it's about trusting the process. You as a notary, there's a process that you have to follow when you go to this appointment, and at the same time, there's a process that your customers must follow as well. You can't let them just lead the appointment, because as soon as something goes left, you're the one that they're going to blame for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, what I try to do, and I'm pretty successful in doing it, is I let them lead me as far as to the table. As soon as they show me where I get busy at, because that's what I do. I'm a notary. That's my arena. As soon as you lead me to my arena, then I take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have an issue with that, and I'm not forceful about it. I'm not a brash person. I laugh. I'll talk with them. I comment to them. But as soon as they show me where that table is, I have a strategy.
Yeah.
And they just follow suit with what I do.
Yeah. Now here's the question: what gives you the confidence, or any notary the confidence, to be able to do that? Is it taking a course on marketing, or a course on proper notarizations and how to do closings?
It was a course on proper notarizations, and thank you, Mr. Bill Soroka, for your Notary Pro course, because that's where I actually learned how to work the table. Once I learned how to notarize properly and how the table was supposed to be ran, I mastered my art.
Yeah. And Bill Soroka, I mean, look, I never finished the whole course series that he has, because by the time, once I got started, things was just popping and I just never got back in there. I'm still a member there, everything, and pay monthly. But one thing that I did, as soon as I got my first order, I spent like 3 hours just looking at the video of him doing a closing over and over and over again.
So did I. That's the one. So I started going through the training videos, and like you said, business started rolling in, and I was like, all right. So I skipped ahead, and I was like, okay, I know that I need to know this. So I went and I kept, just like you, I watched it over and over and over again. And then you gave me the push to go ahead and go out there and do it. Then I went out there and did it. And then as I kept doing a couple more, I said, okay, I can start to refine this, you know, and my signing times went from, you know, an hour and a half, hour, 35 minutes down to now I'm at like about 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes right in there.
That's pretty good.
You know, and that's in a couple of months. Like I'm coming up on my year, you know what I mean? So I'm coming up on my year, but it took me time to, if I didn't have that training of how to work the table and how to move through the documents, then I would have been lost. You know what I mean? Like that gave me a foundation to have confidence and go in there and say, okay, I know how to do this. And after I saw that it worked, then I said, okay, this system works. And then after that, you know, after probably like 10 or 15 signings, I said, okay, let me start refining this and seeing how I can fine tune this machine to operate a little bit more smoothly, you know, and that's where I came in with using the you know, Griffin, we talked about this when I came up with using the customer's copy, and moving up all the numbers in the customer's copy and handing that to them and saying, hey, check these, while I set up, and, you know, moving all that important documents up to them, hand them their copy with all the numbers on them, boom, check the numbers while I get set up. If the numbers aren't right, we'll make the phone call now.
Correct. And that's the way it goes. But see, see, marketing doesn't teach you that.
No, it doesn't.
Marketing doesn't teach you that. And marketing is good from the standpoint of getting you in the door, but it doesn't teach you how to stay inside the door. It just gets you the opportunity. And then if you don't know how to work it, you end up getting bounced. And they'll just let you go and stuff.
Yeah, marketing don't teach you how to talk to people. Marketing does not teach you how to lead people.
Not at all. It's experience.
Marketing does none of that.
No.
The experience plays a big role in your success in this business. So if you know, it goes back to what Griff was saying earlier, as far as taking the proper action. So experience. So Q went through that. He went through that training. Guess what? He still had to go out there and put in the work. He still had to go meet with the customers. Then after he put in the work, what he did, he started to redefine, you know, how he was gonna create his own process, still following the same guideline on how to properly notarize document. He just had to find out what works for him, and that's how, you know, you went from about an hour and a half, now you're saying about 40 to 45 minutes.
35 to 40. Don't give me that extra 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, you know, so that's based off the experience that, you know, that you had going out, meeting people, notarizing document. And a lot of people right now, they're not willing to do that because they just want to take the marketing course. But you can take all the marketing course you want, but if you're not going out there, guess what? You done. Like just stop it, because I'm sick and tired of people that I see online. I'm not going to name any name or anything like that, but stop paying for marketing courses, and then the following week you're asking, what do I put there? Do I put the county there? Do I put the signer name there?
Right.
Do I sign here? So why are you paying for marketing course and you don't even know how to complete like an acknowledgement?
Yeah.
Like,
that's why,
you're right.
Yeah. But that's why I always say the number one way to market your business is to be ready to do business. And if you don't know how to do the business, then you're a piss poor marketer.
Pretty much. If you got money to raise, please, I'll give you my Cash App.
It's like, but here's the thing, though.
Griffin Notary Cash App.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I get it. Like I understand you are looking for a way. Like, yo, I gotta get business somehow. I gotta find customers somehow, right? That's cool and everything, but if you're not gonna do the job right, it don't matter how many of those customers that you got when you start getting bad reviews.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how good your marketing was when you can't get repeat clients. Let's talk about that. We're about to go to a break, but let's talk. We should be talking about that. How much of your business is repeat?
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important. I have a few people that started when I started this business 5 years ago. They were like some of my very few customers, and till today they still call me. A couple weeks ago, they used to they used to live in the same area from me. A couple weeks ago, they called me. They're like, "Hey, we moved. We're about 45 minutes away from you. Can you help us still?" I met them halfway. We got the documents signed and notarized. Mind you, they could have went and found a new notary where they moved to, but they still call me. Yeah, with them being 45 minutes away.
Wow,
and
that's
I'm
great.
sure there's plenty notaries in that area, because I've been kind of talking to a few notaries in that area that I've been sending business to when I'm not able to get there. But look, how many of you are having repeated customers, or how many of you think that the way you are providing your service right now, if a customer move, will they call you back to bring business to you? So how are you conducting your appointments? It's all about creating an experience for the customer. Don't just go there thinking about, I want to make money. The money's coming, but you have to create an experience for that customer. So that way, if somebody else within the neighborhood or within their job is asking for a notary, the first person they're going to think of is you, because you are providing top quality services and they know you can be trusted.
My very first customer has referred, I think, 6 or 7 new additional customers to me. My very first one. And we still talk on a regular basis.
You gotta love that.
Just because that was my first customer, and I told her, hey, you're my first customer. So now she follows me on all my social media. She's always recommending me to people on Facebook, and she's been an awesome first customer, because I already knew, even though it was my first customer, I provided excellent service. Because I was nervous as hell to do the notarization, but my service, I knew I wasn't going to be lacking there. And I brought the house for my first customer. She's paid. It's paid off.
That's amazing. It was like prom night all over again, right, Q?
Yeah, man. When I stepped out the car, I had to check my shirt. I had to make sure the shirt was right, make sure that my new work pants was good. I looked in the mirror real fast, make sure my hair was right, make sure the bag was looking right. I mean, come on now. You had to make sure you look good with the bag on. It's your first time going to an appointment. It's like, man, how do I even look right now doing this thing? Right? My steps were metered.
That's crazy.
I like that. But like you said, the last thing you said, the most important, man, in my opinion, is building trust. And how you carry yourself and your professionalism will show people that they can trust. I mean, look, again, people will, case in point, I did a signing the other day, and after this, I guess we'll be going to the break, but check this out. Yeah. I went to the lady's house, and she was just amazed that her cat didn't run away from me. She said the cat normally run away from men. And she's like, and the whole time we were doing the signing, she was sitting there like, amazed, like, what is it about you that my cat likes being around you? And people take that, they know that animals can tell good energy. And she's like, my family members come here and that cat runs and hides. And the whole time that cat was meowing at me and bumping me and wanting me to pet it and all that. And I just, in between times when she would be signing, I scratch his back and all of that. And she was just amazed. That builds trust, because if that person's animal, who typically is timid and nervous and scared around other people, especially some animals don't like men, because there's been some men who have abused the animal, and all of a sudden you come in and that cat or dog is like, oh, that's Griff. We cool with Griff, yeah. And stuff. the person will fall in love with you and be like, all right. And then all you got to do is just execute and don't mess up their documents.
That's it. Execute. At that point, all you have to do is execute. You know, so much of the success of this notary business, since we are mobile, comes with everything before you actually get to being a notary. And that's being personable, being clean, being intelligent, speaking with intellect, how you treat the people, how you make them feel. And all you have to do is execute, understanding the notarial wording, making sure they sign properly, and put your stamp on and put all your stuff on, say thank you, get paid, and bounce. It's that simple. On that, we're going to bounce on a break. We'll be back, folks.
The Notary Success System is the notary industry leading face-to-face loan closing training on the market. You are actually conducting a mock loan closing with a full set of loan closing documents. At the end of the training, you will have the confidence to conduct any loan closing you are assigned. Go to notarysuccesssystem.com and choose your date and time. Peace.
www.captivatednotarystore.com.
It's Captivated, baby. Yup, that's the name that we go by when we let the post fly. It's Captivated, baby. We got hoodies and tees for all your notary needs. Know what I'm talking about? It's Captivated, baby. Nobody does it like me, so it's best to believe when you see it. It's Captivated, baby. Yeah, we do this. We got the newness. Just don't forget. It's Captivated, baby. Q. The Notary Supremo, t-shirt ad sounding just like a demo. Podcast on blast, shout out to our demo. Graph how I laugh with my foot on this pedal. Somehow I lost my mind, have you seen all these designs? And I sell them things cheap, $24.99. What's your name, what's your size? Forget it, never mind. The Captivated store, order pay another time. A notary that rhymes, yes, that's him, lady. Commission with these writtens, I've been spitting crazy. Witness all the ways we give it, all we say that we do. It's true, it's guess Captivated, baby.
www.captivatednotarystore.com.
It's Captivated, baby. Witness all the ways we give it, all we say that we do. It's true. It's Captivated, baby.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope the break wasn't too long for you guys. So the way that we're going to wrap this podcast up, the guys have absolutely no idea what we're going to talk about. Neither did I until about 2 minutes ago. Right? I told you guys in the Notary Unsealed theme song, this is unrehearsed. We do not rehearse. We oftentimes don't know what we're going to talk about until the day of recording. But the way that we're going to end this thing today. So we're heading into fall. You know, for those of us on the East Coast, the seasons are changing. You know, we're feeling it. You know, the past couple of days have been pretty mild. But we all know it's pumpkin spice season. I can't stand pumpkin spice.
No, I'm missing no pumpkin.
Nah, man.
Ben, I didn't know it. Don't even bring that in my neighborhood.
Yeah, like I am not about that. And you know what? My children's mother got my daughter hooked on pumpkin spice, and I just want to kick her for it. No domestic abuse. That'll never happen. But she turned my daughter into one of those. Come on, yo.
Yeah, I can't miss no pumpkin. Nah, under no circumstances.
Anyway, so we're heading into fall. This is a time when a lot of people get sick, right? So as business owners, we got to take this into consideration, you know, especially if this is your first year in business or, you know, during the pandemic and all that, you didn't get sick or anything like that. You know, now we're reaching that time. What are you going to do in your business, with your business, if you catch the flu?
Oh, man.
Like, if you go down.
Yeah.
Oh.
And some people will say, well, that's why I'm going to start a signing company.
Well, you going to do that tomorrow?
If you are the main person running the signing company, you still going to be sucking because it's still on you. So it has, I mean, just because you're running a signing company don't mean that everything is going to flow, because the notary is going to be dependent on you. And if you can't send those orders out or keep your staff, or if you got some janky staff people that you got to always stay on top of, and now you sick.
Yeah.
Next thing you know.
But you ain't doing that tomorrow. Ain't nobody starting a signing company is going to get things popping before the end of 2022.
Not at all.
Correct.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So how y'all gonna handle that, man? Because I had to stop and think. I mean, I think about this on a daily basis because, as y'all know, I'm a single father. I got children that live in my house. I don't have any family here. Actually, I really don't have any family. So if something happens to me and I go down, the whole thing stops.
Yeah.
Everything stops. So that's something that I'm constantly aware of. What about you guys? Like, is that something that you ever think about? Like, yo, if I go down,
Oh no, I think about it. I do. I'm like, okay, I'm very mindful, and that's where I'm gonna tell you the best thing that I've found is that daggone elderberry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the deal is with that. And if y'all notice, I haven't really coughed a lot lately, and I've been doing a regimen. Kroger has this elderberry cough syrup.
Okay.
And I drink that like once a day, sometimes twice, and I've been doing way, way better.
How's it taste?
And I think primarily, it tastes good.
Does it?
Yeah, the elderberry is good. Just elderberry in general is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have that. Yeah, you gotta have the elderberry. That's one of our staples in here. That elderberry is pretty good. And what I do, I'm big as far as like on herbal, as far as tea, and so that's one thing that I'm pretty good at. We got ginger, lemon, and lime combination for me. That's a go. And
ginger's a go-to for me as well.
Yeah, and then another thing that's that's pretty good as far as for for the cold. You peel off the pineapple, then you boil the pineapple skin with ginger and some cloves, and then that right there will set you right. That right.
Now, what would I use that for?
That right there, I use it as far as a cold suppressant.
Okay.
Or if I just need to do a cleanse, and so that is one of the go-to right there for us, especially if the kids are feeling a little under the weather. So I always have pineapples because I love pineapples anyways. But
pineapples are good. I love pineapples as well. I'm a black seed guy. Like I like black seed oil. Like,
oh yeah, I love that. I drink that straight right out of the bottle.
Yeah, like black seed oil does it for me for pretty much everything.
You cold-blooded, Griff.
I drink it straight from the bottle.
If you don't want to drink it out the bottle, drink it with orange juice. Okay, you can mix it in with some orange juice. That's a good way to take it, or with some tea. But it's great with some orange juice if you don't like the taste of it. Just a little disclaimer.
I drink it straight. I take it straight to the head.
Griff,
I don't
Griff
dip
chew
out,
the seeds.
and I don't pour out in it.
Griff's like, I make my own oil. I chew the seeds like Papa chews spinach.
Hey, I actually got the seeds too.
No, seeds ain't bad.
Yeah, now what I do with the seeds, because I got a coffee grinder, so I take the seeds and I put them in the coffee grinder, grind them up real fine, and then I make my own black seed pills for my wife because she likes the pills better than the oil. She won't do the oil, but she'll do the pills all day long. And so yeah, I love that black seed oil. That's some look. You can rub that stuff on your skin, on your hair, everything. On
your gums if your gums are aching. If you got a mosquito bite, put on a mosquito biter to help disinfect it. It does a little bit of everything, man. What they say is it'll cure everything but death.
Everything but death.
If you want to cleanse your system out, drink some black seed oil. Drink a large enough dose of it, and it will clean your system out. Like you better be ready for that. Don't plan on going nowhere. Like plan for it. Nah. If you want to clean your system out, drink that black seed oil. Give yourself 2 to 3 days, and it'll clean you right out, and you will be feeling good.
Oh yeah. That black seed oil. Yeah, sometimes I might do the black charcoal.
Okay.
I'll make some black charcoal pills and take that. Now, if you really want to clean yourself out, you get you some bentonite clay. And the bentonite clay they use for making like mud masks and stuff. But you get that and you dissolve. You got to take your time and dissolve that stuff up real good. And you drink that. Now, that'll flush you out and stuff. Yeah,
I don't know about that one. But it's called bentonite clay. Like I don't know. I just think about like being in kindergarten. Don't eat the Play-Doh, boy.
I know.
I don't know if I can eat clay. Like, yeah,
I know. Scarred. Yeah, I thought about it too. Well, you know what? They use bentonite clay for certain all natural toothpaste.
Okay.
So you take the bentonite clay and
what kind of toothpaste
some
you use,
clove
Griff?
in there and peppermint.
What kind of toothpaste do you use?
I've been using Tom's of Maine.
You use Tom's?
Yeah, same here.
I use Hello.
Yeah.
I use Hello charcoal.
Fluoride free.
And
fluoride
we use
free.
the Hello mouthwash.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we do the Hello mouthwash and the Tom's of Maine for the toothpaste.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I use Tom's for a little bit. I like Hello though.
Yeah, and if I get in the mood, I use the bentonite clay, and sometimes you can use diatomaceous earth and everything. But with diatomaceous earth, you got to be careful because you don't want to breathe in the dust. Because you breathe in the dust, it'll mess your lungs up. So you can't use that, Q.
Yeah, it's no good for me.
Nah, just hold up. What you just said? Like you said, you can't if you breathe in the dirt and mess up your lungs.
The diatomaceous earth.
Huh.
Yeah, diatomaceous earth it's a fossilized substance, and microscopically it has a lot of sharp edges to it.
Yeah, it's no
so
good.
they use diatomaceous earth when you're doing food prep against mice and bugs and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Because the microscopic little sharp edges will cut them up. Just like they say, like if you got slugs and you spray that stuff down, slugs don't like to run across it because it cuts them up. But you take the diatomaceous earth and do it just right so you don't create a dust cloud. Yep. Mix some water and you dissolve it just right. You drink that'll flush your system out too. And then some people use that to make toothpaste and all of that stuff. So
interesting.
Yeah, I got like a 10-pound bag of it.
Hey,
but yeah, they use it for food prep.
All right. Wow.
I mean, like food storage. The doomsday preppers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I just learned something new just now.
Hey, real quick, am I the only one that likes to put salt on slugs?
Oh man, I do that all the time.
I love doing that, man. Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, because we keep getting slugs in our garage, and I'm getting them more now that we put that I put that AC unit out there in the garage,
Mm-hmm.
so the temperature is just right. So them suckers be popping up out of nowhere. I got so much diatomaceous earth and salt on the floor in there. The bad boy, they hate me, and then I got glue traps everywhere catching them lizards.
Are lizards? When was the last? Yeah, I guess the last time I was in Virginia Beach, lizards were a thing.
Oh yeah, them things, man.
Not as bad as Florida,
I hate
though.
them things.
No, I don't think any place as bad as Florida.
Nah, Florida got them lizards, boy.
Florida is its own damn country.
Yeah, them daggone. Yeah, when I went down there one time, man, them things were just, people thought I was crazy because I kept jumping every time because I'm seeing everything out the corner of my eye. I'm seeing something. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, and they're like, what are you jumping for? I'm like, because I just saw something that might get me.
That's crazy. You want to know something else that's crazy? Now come to think about it, I don't think we've ever talked about this before, Griff. You were born in Florida.
Nah, actually, I was born in Baltimore.
Oh, I thought you said you were born in Florida.
Man.
No, I was born in Baltimore, but I grew up in Florida. I've been living in Florida. I lived in Florida since I was like 3 years old.
I got you.
So I call Florida home. But
Gotcha. Okay, I thought you said that when you said you were from Florida, I thought you meant like you were from Florida. I got you. Never mind.
Yo, this right here is crazy, right? Because Griff grew up in Florida. Q, you're from Florida.
I was born in Florida, yeah.
I grew up in Florida. So it's like different part of Florida. I'm down there in Palm Beach County. You're in Tampa, and Griff was in Jacksonville, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's crazy how that worked out, huh?
That is insane.
Some good old Florida boys.
Nah, but Griff got to be from B-More, though. That's all right, though. Shout out to B-More.
Yeah. I haven't gone to Baltimore that much, but the one time I went through there, man, we got lost.
Oh, don't get lost.
I took the wrong
turn. Don't get lost.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, man. And you know what? I was just crazy enough to pull over and ask somebody in the hood how to get out of there.
Oh, you're tripping, bro.
Yeah.
And
you don't do that.
And the dude came over. He was a big, heavy-set guy. And he came over and he was like, just go here, 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 and you're back on the highway. I like, all right, man, thanks.
Yeah, but you want to know something? As bad as Baltimore is, like, I mean, John Hopkins is right in the middle of the hood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're used to people being around there.
Shoot, it's there for a reason.
Well, not really, because the people that surround that hospital can't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. No, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. We're not doing it. Nah, because we're trying to end this podcast at some point.
Yeah,
and that'll just open up a whole nother can of worms.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're gonna keep it like that. We're gonna keep it
for
like
now.
that, guys.
For now, you know what? I think as the show grows a little bit more, we too shall grow and start expounding and expanding on certain things.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that would definitely be good for our listeners out there. We have some facts for you guys, but we're just gonna take it one episode at a time, guys. Just one episode at a time.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got me.
That is the best way, and I think that if we were really to go in on some of the conversations that we have outside of business in the notary world, we would have to detach the name Notaries Unsealed and go by aliases, so that way we can have the show that we want. And you guys would never hear it because it would only be on our website, on our own platform where nobody could tell us yay or nay. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready to rock and roll. We can rock and roll anytime. Set that up. I got the Amazon S3. I got all the cloud stuff already set up, so we can host and run the videos ourselves. See, that's what you get when you have a webmaster in the group, not somebody that uses Google Sites and stuff.
That's right.
As people try to claim. I can't believe somebody. A minute video. Me and Q did a whole 2-hour video talking about website hosting.
Yeah, that is
and
true.
Somebody got the nerve to come out. I'm doing a daggone my website is on Google Sites. I'm like, that tells you don't know nothing technical.
Sorry, man.
Whatsoever. Don't know nothing. I'm sitting here like, boy, y'all some haters.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm like, goodness.
You know how it is. You must be doing something right. That's just what it is.
Hey, but making key friendships and business friendships are important. When you start putting together a team, like look at the team that we got here. We got Griff, Webmaster, and we're really just sitting here talking. Really just sitting here talking, random conversations like we have. But, we have the ability, because of the resources that we have and, the things that we bring to the table, to say, hey, you know what? This could actually turn into something. It seems like every time that we say, hey, we should do this, we kind of do.
Yeah.
So, I would not be surprised if there are some additional conversations that happen that you will not be hearing on this podcast, but will be available on our own platforms.
Some way, sometime. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's so much that's going on in the world, and a lot of times people don't really want to talk about it. They want to pretend like it doesn't exist. And you got to deal with things. If you're going, sometimes you just got to deal with stuff head on. And that goes all the way back to what we said in the first segment, execution.
Absolutely.
And the reason why people aren't being successful in business, irregardless whether it's notary or whatever, is their lack of execution. And I'll be honest, I'll be the first one to say that was my failure, is that I did not execute when I had the opportunity. And that's why I tell people all the time, I could never get upset with any millionaire, billionaire, because I know they went and executed and did what they had to do to get there. Did they, and the question is, am I willing to sacrifice or even want to sacrifice to the same level as them? And for some, and for some of it, no. But then for others, yes, so I mean, it's just, that's really what it boils down to. You can learn all you want to learn, but if you don't execute it, I mean, some kids fail in school, not because they're not smart, but because they won't just go ahead on and take the test.
Right.
They won't take the test. They'll even show. Look, I saw a statistic where, because my sons was having some problems in school, and there was a statistic that showed the school was tracking this. Out of all these different categories of where kids excel by race, the one area that black kids excelled over all other kids, even Asian kids, was attendance.
Yeah, I've seen that stat before.
Wow.
Black kids will come to school, but in all the areas, math, English, science, all of those different categories that they had, black kids was last or next to last.
Well, I'm sure if you designed a curriculum for them specifically on how they learn, they would excel just like all these other people do. But we're not going to have this conversation again.
Correct.
No, we're not.
And when I saw that, and they said the black kids will come to school, but they the ones who don't turn. They even tracked how much kids turn in homework. Black kids was last. The only area that kids excelled, the Asian kids excelled, was in math and science. And I'm sitting here like, okay, that's a problem. They say, yeah, we don't have a problem with attendance with the black kids. But then they were saying the white kids, and just telling y'all the statistics that was told to me, and I still have the book here at the house. They came to school darn near the least, but they was excelling on everything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, it's like, So I'm like, okay. So what that told me was that they at least executed and tried to take the test.
Right.
And then they were saying a lot of the black kids would come to school, but they wouldn't take the test. They wouldn't even try sometimes. And then it was like, okay, that's why you're great. And they said it's not that that the black kids didn't know the material. They said if you sat down with them and talked to them, they tell you the answer all day and every day. Yep. And would actually and if they actually took the test, they outscored everybody. But this was the lack of execution. And lastly, what E.T. said a couple of months ago, he said, you don't get fired for execution, you get fired for trying.
Right.
He's like, when you gonna come to work? I'm trying to come to work on time. Okay, you're fired. Yep. Yeah. Either come to work on time or you don't get right. You get fired for trying. And there's too many people are trying to do stuff instead of doing it. And if you go ahead on and execute and do it, you will see things change in your life for the better. Look, every woman wants their man to what? Execute. Well, babe, I'm trying to be a good... No. I don't want you to try to be a good man. I don't want you to try.
I get it done.
Babe, I'm trying not to look at them other honeys. No, I need you to stop looking.
He just went left.
Why? See, that's why I gotta leave, babe. We ain't going nowhere because you don't know how to act when we at the restaurant. The girl come up to you and
man,
I'm just saying, and y'all, they know it's true.
They do.
They know it's true.
All right, guys, I got a question. All right,
yeah,
a serious question. Okay,
I don't speak English.
Well, I got Google Translate, so you tell me what you speak and we get it done. I'll ask you first, Griff.
All right.
What is your biggest weakness? Let's be real. Let's be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. What is your weakness?
Biggest one is really just taking on too much. That prohibits me from getting certain things that I need to get done, which then keeps me up till real late at night. That's the thing, it's like sometimes I take on a little too much. And, there's days where I should not, it's like, nah, I ain't gonna take that order. But it's like, nah, I'm going to knock it out. And then it ends up being a whole mess. And then it just throws my whole day off. Even early this week, there was an order that came in that I was going to chill on Wednesday and just do my one order that I had. Order came in. I said, I'll knock that out. Ended up not being able to do it. And it just messed my whole day up. And I didn't get nothing that I had planned done. and stuff. So sometimes, and it makes me procrastinate. So I bet basically, because the short answer would be procrastination, but the question is, why am I procrastinating? Well, I'm procrastinating because I'm taking on too much. And then by the time I finally get to sit down, it's like, I'll get it later. I'll get it later. I'll get it later.
Right.
And stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's real. That's
yeah,
real.
Definitely. Oh man, I want to
Griff,
say.
Mathurin, you. What do you got?
Oh man, shoot. Bigger. I guess maybe it may be a couple. Not not taking the time to. You know what? No, I'm not even gonna go there because that's just gonna open a whole nother topic. Probably at time I try to rush through things versus taking, actually taking my time to, go through the process, because it's what we have different, different scenarios in our lives and business where we want certain things to happen, but we have to understand that everything will fall into place when the time is right. And, at time, I'll be focusing on one thing, and then a few weeks will go by. I'm like, okay, so why is it not happening? It's
Right.
not happening because it's not time for it to manifest yet. So sometimes I struggle with being patient. And so that's probably one of my biggest weakness, because we ain't perfect here. But so that's just one of them. So that's the one I'm going to share with you guys today is, not being patient enough when I should be.
That's a very good one. Nice. Thanks for answering, guys. Anyway, so let's move this conversation on.
Man, please.
All right.
Man, please. You better answer that.
I know,
So,
right?
my biggest weakness, I lack discipline and focus. Not discipline and focus, but discipline in focus. Because you guys already know I'm a very creative person. So the way that my mind works, it's constantly moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So it's hard for me to stay focused on one thing for a very, for a long amount of time. It's not ADHD, like it's none of that stuff. I'm cool. Not saying that there's anything wrong with being ADHD. I just don't have ADHD or ADD. But my discipline in staying focused for a long period of time on a project or on a task, if it doesn't interest me enough, I'm just gonna move on from it because there's a million other things that I'd rather do or think about at that moment. So if it doesn't stimulate me enough, I just disregard it and I keep moving forward with whatever it is that I have going on in my head, which is a bad thing. And it's something that I'm working on, but I'm knowledgeable of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's right now. Yeah, I think that was a good question. Last time Griff asked a question. Now you just asked a question. Sure, I might have to come up with one for you guys.
Next week on Notaries Unsealed, Mathurin's big questions. Now the pressure's on. Now they're gonna expect it.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Big question, huh? It's all good. Nah, this definitely another great episode, fellas.
Oh,
I
man.
think we are on to something here, and those who are paying attention, those who appreciate what we are doing, will constantly be providing their support. And we do appreciate you guys. We appreciate those who are supporting us. We appreciate those who are
thank you so
who
much.
are wishing for our failures. We appreciate everybody.
I can't thank you guys enough that are wishing for our failures, and I can't thank you guys enough that are wishing for our success. Either way, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. Nobody asked us to do this. We're doing this out of the love for our friendship and for this business, and we're bringing it to you guys anyway. So
absolutely,
thank you.
And plus, we're not marketing for 50% off either. So it's free content. We here. We doing our absolute best. You know what I mean? So I think it's definitely great.
Hey, Griff, let me ask you a quick question before we get out of here. Have you dropped the prices of your notary success system since you started it?
Nah. And you look, I took a class on business when I was doing my associate's degree, and they talked about that.
Wait, hold on. You got a degree? Because from what I was hearing, you don't got no credentials. You don't got none of that.
Hey man, I ain't got a degree.
I don't have a degree. I got a
trying to say, bro.
Degree. I got a bachelor's degree. I have a degree in cybersecurity policy. I got a grad certificate in cybersecurity policy. So I'm very articulate in what I try to say and do and everything, and I think it through clearly and stuff. But yeah, what I learned was that they said, basically, if you provide people the proper value for what you're doing, you really don't have to drop your price. And they say a lot of people who tend to drop their prices all the time, it's because nobody's buying their product or nobody really sees the value in it, or then they can't add any more value to it. So as time goes by, it's like, okay, let me drop the price, but I still want you to take it. It's 17 years old. So he'll take it at 20% off, 50% off, 80% off, because they won't put the time and effort in to keep it relevant. Yeah. So if you keep what you have relevant, you really never have to drop the price. And if you understand pricing, you have it at a price. And what the problem is, most people had their courses at too high of a price. And now people are coming in and they can't afford it starting off. So they're like, well, to compete with everybody else, the lesser courses, well, I'm going to cut my course. And then it's like, nah. So, you don't see me offering any discount. And I think it's disingenuous to have a course that you done had everybody pay for, and then you turn around and drop the price 80%. Yeah.
I agree.
And then it's like, wait a minute. Do you drop it that the same course now it's 80%? Yeah, the $1,499 course, and now it's for $75.
Yep. Exactly.
All right, we can't give y'all no more. We can't give y'all no more. That's it. Can't give y'all no more.
I need my refund. That's all I know.
I know, man. Shoot, but nah. The price for the Notary Success System is $150. And look, if you can pay all that money to go on these trips to these conferences and all of that kind of stuff, and the hotel room and to the casinos and all of that, you can take some of that casino wins and pay the $150 and come on over here and get the training that you need to move your business forward. That's why there's no need for me to drop it. I'm not dropping it because it gives people the value that they want.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the simple answer is no, you've never dropped your prices.
Nah.
All right. Nah. Yeah, I ain't never dropped my prices neither.
Nobody's ever even asked me to.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, see, I never dropped my prices. You know why? Because I don't offer no damn courses.
There you go. There it is. And on that note, hey guys, it's been a great show. We appreciate all of you, like we've said. Tell a friend, tell your notary friends, tell your notary group, tell your notary Facebook group, tell them about the Notaries Unsealed. We're here. We ain't going nowhere. Guys, you got anything else to say?
Nah, man, just enjoy your life.
Yeah, I just want to give everybody a shout out. Keep supporting. We appreciate that. And also, if you're looking to make some money on referrals for real estate, just hit me up at Mathurin Notary.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for getting that in there. All right, folks. Hey, love your life. Love your business. Love yourself.
We know the reason unsealed. Here we go. Took the game over. We home now. We soldiers. Griff, Mathurin, and Q, the podcast. You can't hold us. Y'all heard the word. Y'all heard the word. Griff, Mathurin, and Q. Yeah, we on the verse. So diverse with no rehearse. That's how we work. Authentic when we give it. If we said it, then we meant it. Not to be confused with other people's views. They get it how they get it, and we get it how we do. Look, homie, this a whole different game. We got a whole different aim. We in a whole different lane. Yeah. We know the reason unsealed. This my everyday life. We know the reason unsealed. Every day I hustle out here living it right. We know the reason unsealed. Put the stamp down and step in front of the mic. took the game over, we home now, we soldiers. Griff, Mathurin, and Q, the podcast, you can't hold us. We Notaries Unsealed. Every day I hustle out here living it right. We Notaries Unsealed. This my everyday life.